What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, it's your homie, FuturisticMike, and I'm back with another Power Book 3 Raising Kanan video if you're new. Now, this is the video we all been waiting for, man. This is the review and recap for Power Book 3 Raising Kanan, Season 1, Episode 1. If you're a fan of Raising Kanan, if you love Raising Kanan, hit the like on this video. If you're new to my channel and this is the first time you're finding me, subscribe and turn on those post notifications so when I post videos on Raising Kanan, you get them. Now, it's finally here, man. It is finally here. We've been waiting so long. We've been waiting months, even like over a year. And Raising Kanan is finally here. And it's just as good as I expected it to be. You know, I already knew the show was going to be good, man. It's power. Anything related to power, anything in the power universe is going to be good. It's going to be fire, in my opinion. I'm just such a power fan. But this show right here, man, this is the power we haven't got in a long time. Yeah, Power Book 2 Ghost was good and everything, but this right here, in my opinion, was way better than Power Book 2 Ghost, and we only got one episode so far. So if one episode is already better than Power Book 2 Ghost, I already know the entire season will be. But I'm not going to hold y'all, man, because we got a lot to talk about. I'm just going to get right into the recap. When the episode first starts, we see young Kanan and Jukebox. They're at the park or the basketball court or whatever, and some kids are picking on Kanan. They're taking his money and everything, and he runs home crying. We see Kanan's mom, and she's with her boyfriend at the time or whatever, but he's no longer alive. I guess somebody burnt him up or whatever. But she goes to check on Kanan, and he's crying, saying that some kids took his money, and he's just really upset. And she's like, why'd you let them do that? And she said, come on, we're going back up to that park. And she put some batteries in a sock. And then they head up to the park. And, you know, Kanan, he's kind of skeptical about doing this. But she said, look, you're going to either have to deal with them or deal with me. And you can't run from me. So he went up to them dudes and he started hitting them with that sock full of batteries. And they was bleeding and everything. And we see that Kanan's mom ain't playing with him early on. The next we see Kanan in the principal's office with his mom, and the principal is talking about putting Kanan in a school downtown with, you know, escalators and all kinds of stuff. I guess the building costed like $150 million. So his mom says, yeah, that's an opportunity. Then we see Kanan and his mom in the hall, and she's pretty much telling him that she wants him to do great things and she wants better for him. And he's like, no, I want to stay here in this school with my peoples, my friends and everything. He don't want to leave. Then we see Jukebox singing, and she has a voice. We already knew she could sing, man, because in Power Book 1, she was singing to Tariq in that one scene. And she said that Tariq's mom couldn't even touch her on her best day. 50 Cent talking said, Jukebox can sing, but that voice will fool you. She's a real gangster. Now next, we see Kanan. He's in the lunchroom, and he runs into Davina, and you can tell right away that he already likes Davina, man. So when they stop talking to each other, they all sit down. They're eating their lunch with everybody that they're cool with, and this is when we get introduced to D-Wiz and Famous and everybody that Kanan is cool with. This is his crew right here. And they put on a beat, you know, Famous starts rapping and shit. They just got a little crew. They're doing what they do. Then Kanan looks over and he sees Davina with her boyfriend, Buck 20. And this is the part that we seen before the episode dropped. A little clip that they released before the episode. And Kanan is like, man, that's Davina Harrison. And every Davina Harrison in every school got a boyfriend like Buck 20, the best well-dressed dude around the way. And he's like, man, fuck Buck 20. And Jukebox says, how long you been trying to get with her? He says, since the 2nd grade. And then she's like, how long she been playing you to the left? He says, the 1st grade. And she says, maybe you should move on. And he said, Juke, I ain't never moving on. Then we see Lulu and Rock, and they're talking about business, walking down the hall. They're at a hospital, and we get into the room, and one of Rock's people has been hit. They got shot or whatever. And they're all just talking about business and what they need to do. They're talking about their next moves and their next step to stop this from happening. Then we see Kanan and the crew at a place playing arcade games or whatever. And he looks out the window and he sees this dude getting out of the car. And we hear 50 Cent saying, "This is unique. This is the biggest drug dealer on the South Side." He said everybody wants to be like him or be him. Then we get to Rock and Lou. They're going into this club. I guess they have business with this guy named Hugo. So they go in there. They want to talk to him, but he's not really available. They end up talking to this white chick with this dog. And she was being kind of a bitch to Rock, and Rock wasn't having it. Rock called her a bitch and everything. She just wasn't having it. And then Lulu went off to do some business. And this is when Rock started talking to Symphony. He introduces himself. He said his name is Symphony Basket. He tells Rock a little bit about himself because she's never seen him in there before. He said he only works like Tuesday and Thursday, and then he's in school the rest of the time. He said he's doing urban planning, and then she says she's urban and she likes plans. So he said, okay, we might have something to talk about. And then Lou comes out and says, Hugo said we can get with him later. Then we see Lamont's Diner, and we hear 50 Cent say that this is their spot. They have dinner here every Wednesday for as long as he can remember. We hear the fam talking, having a good time, and Lou asks Kanan about the new school, escalators and all that. He's telling them what's up. They're all joking around, having a good time, man. You know how families do, just having some laughs. I love to see these type of moments. And then we see Famous walk in, and Marvin says, "Man, why is this chick with you? I know you got to be paying her or something, because I know she ain't with you for free." And he's like, "Man, this is my sister." So they tell Famous and his sister to sit down and eat with them or whatever. Then we see everybody out in the parking lot. We see Marvin and Rock talking about business. We see Lou and Jessica talking, and Famous don't really like it. He calls Kanan over and he's like, "Man, I don't really want your uncle messing with my sister." And Jukebox is messing around. She's like, "Look, you always wanted into the business and the family. This might be your way in, marriage and everything. And then you got your spot." But then a car rolls by and people start shooting. And, Marvin knows this before it even happens. He tells everybody to get down. Everybody gets down. And Lulu saves Jessica. And she's like, "Damn, that might be the bravest thing any dude has ever done for me." So after this, everybody gets in their car and everybody dips out. Then we see Kanan in his room, and Rock goes in there, and Kanan says, "Man, I know who tried to get at us tonight." And she says, "Don't worry about it. I got everything handled." And Kanan, he's curious. He's young. He's a teenager and everything, but he still knows what's going on. Kanan ain't slow. He knows what's up. He heard Rock and all them talking about business earlier in the parking lot, and you can tell that he was trying not to listen, but he just couldn't help himself. He tells his mom that he doesn't want her to die. Like, he does not want anything bad to happen. And she says, "Come on, Kanan, nothing's gonna happen. Just go to bed." So next we see Kanan, Jukebox, and Fame. They're outside getting ready to get on the bus to go to school. And they're saying, "Look, if you want to stay behind, you might want to fail that test on purpose or whatever." And we see Kanan just looking around, thinking real hard, like, yeah, that's a good plan. So that's what he's gonna do. So then we see Rock talking to Unique, and they're pretty much talking about what happened outside the diner. They're talking about a truce and everything like that, because they don't want a war. Rock says, "Look, you need to lay off my people," and stuff like that. She said, "I'm not gonna get on my knees for no man." And they agree to come to an understanding, and they give each other a certain amount of corners. I gotta say, I really like this character Unique so far, man. He's a dope character in my opinion, and I can't wait to see more from this character. For real, he's a dope ass character. Now next we see the white girl from the club smashing this dude, and they're just getting it on, and then she smells something. She's like, "What is that smell?" She thinks maybe her dog took a shit. She gets up, goes into the kitchen, and her dog is in the microwave smoking and everything. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I mean, the dog was super dead. Now next we see Rock take Kanan to go take the test to get into the school downtown. She gives him a lunch because she said there's supposed to be a break or whatever. He goes in and we see him sitting there, and you can tell he's thinking about what he wants to do, and he fails the test on purpose. He puts all B, man. He puts all the answers in the B column. So if all the answers are B, then he's gonna be cool, but if not, you know, he's screwed. He did that on purpose. He said, stuff has always been clear to me. I gotta stay here with my mom and not downtown with a bunch of white niggas. Now next we see Rock's homeboy come up to her in the car, and he hands her the dog collar and he says medium well, and she says no doubt. She's holding the collar and it says Bella, so yeah, she had the dog cooked because she was not taking no shit from the white girl. Now next, Kanan comes into this pizza joint and everybody's eating some pizza, and they say, damn, you took that test fast? And he says, yeah, I just knew the answers before I even took the test. And then they talk about how this dude Buck is on his mom's corners. And Kanan, he's shocked to hear this, and then he's like, we gonna handle this. Now next we see Jukebox listening to her music with her headphones, and she's waiting for somebody to come out of school. Then she goes across the street and talks to these white girls coming from this school, and she's only there for one of them, the one in the middle. I guess she met this girl in choir practice or whatever, and the other girls are just ditzy as hell, especially the one on the left, because Jukebox is saying that she's from Jamaica and everything, and the girl is like, what, the island Jamaica? Like, this girl is ditzy and makes no sense. But she leaves her friends to go with Jukebox, and she says, I'll catch up with y'all later. And we already knew that Jukebox was a lesbian. We already know that she likes girls. I mean, she was with a girl in Power, so we already knew. I just didn't know if she liked girls this early on, but I guess so. I guess she always liked them. Now we see Jukebox with this girl, and we just see them together talking, and then we see Rock and Marvin, and they're coming from the Jamaica Coliseum Mall area, and Marvin walks up to this older guy, and he has a dog, and he says, what's wrong with them? And the older guy says, you know, he has a tumor and he can't use his rear legs anymore. And Marvin says, no matter what, don't give up on family, and he daps him up. And then Marvin and Rock are getting ready to get in the car, and he says to Rock, man, somebody was talking about a white girl and a dog being cooked in a microwave or whatever. And Rock says, what white girl? So Marvin already knew what was up, man. He was laughing and everything. Now next we see Jukebox talking to the white girl. I don't even know the girl's name. That's why I keep calling her the white girl. I'm gonna find out her name for the next episode so I can start saying her name. But they're just talking, you know, laughing and everything, getting to know each other even more because they just met each other. And she tries to kiss Jukebox, and Jukebox isn't really about it, but I'm sure she will be in the future. They just end up holding hands. I don't think Jukebox is out right now. I don't think anybody knows that she is the way she is, except for Kanan. Now next we see Buck 20 on the corner, chilling with his boys and stuff. And then we see Kanan and his boys, and they're like, man, we gotta handle this. Kanan is looking at what's going on, and then he goes back to his boys. He's like, man, do you believe this? This dude is just on the corner like it's nothing. We gotta take care of this right now. And they have a strap for Kanan. You know, D-Wiz, he has a strap. And they said they're gonna handle this. And Fame is like, man, I ain't going out there naked. It ain't no way. He said, what are we supposed to do if they start shooting at us? Yell at them? So Kanan and D-Wiz go to take care of it themselves. They walk up in front of Buck 20, and I guess he thought he was tough. He stood there like he was really about to do something, and Kanan and D-Wiz started shooting. And I don't really know which one of them shot Buck 20. I think it was Kanan. I really do think it was him. It looked like it came from his gun. But after they shoot him, they're kind of freaking out, man. Everybody started running, and they go up to him. They're just looking like, damn, because they never took a life before. Kanan gets down in front of him and he's looking like, what did I just do? I mean, Buck 20 is trying to talk and everything. Kanan caught his first body ever. He even said, this was the first dude I ever pointed a gun at. That's what we heard 50 Cent say. He said that shit haunts you and you never forget it. We seen Buck 20 just die that easy. I mean, Kanan took his first life in the first episode and I couldn't believe it. Now, we see Rock out to dinner with Symphony and they're getting to know each other. And Rock says, I have a certain line of business that I'm in. And Symphony says, I don't have a problem with it if you don't have a problem with it. So they're just chatting, and I can tell that Symphony already likes Rock a lot. And then Lulu comes in to the restaurant and says it's Kanan. So Rock rushes home and everybody's there. Marvin, Lulu, Jukebox, and Kanan. And Rock says to Kanan, what were you thinking? Why would you do that? I gave them that corner. That was my call. And Kanan was like, man, I didn't know that. I try to take care of things myself and do things how I thought it needed to be done. And Rock says, man, see, that's why you don't make moves without talking to me. Why'd you do that? Rock was so mad. She was pissed off. And Marvin and Rock kind of got into it as well. And they asked Jukebox where she was at when this was going on. And she said choir practice or whatever. Basically, Kanan messed up. That's what they're thinking because they think people are going to be coming after him. And Lulu goes with Kanan to burn his clothes. But Kanan wants more than anything to help his mom. That's why he flunked the test on purpose, man. He wants to be there for his mom and he don't want to leave her here to do things by herself. He don't want anything to happen to her. And I gotta say, Kanan really does care for his mom. You can tell. Now next, we see Kanan in his room and he's looking pretty upset, man. Then we see Kanan come out of his room. He's talking to his mom and he's telling her that he's sorry, but he did what he thought was right. And she doesn't want to hear anything. She tells him to grab the trash, take it out, and get back to his room. So he goes outside to take out the trash. And some dudes drive by and try to kill Kanan, man. They start shooting like crazy, start busting at him. And we see Rock, the OG Thomas, come out of the house with her gun and start busting at this car, man. She looks like a straight badass, just busting off rounds and shit. I'm like, damn, Rock is a true OG. We're gonna see, man, she really is about that life. She don't play. Now, we see Omar Epps' character pull up, Detective Malcolm Howard. And we hear 50 Cent say that Malcolm Howard thinks that he's the shit, that he runs the hood and everything like that. He does pull up like he is the shit, like he really does run things. He comes up to Rock and he's like, man, what is this about? And she says they were shooting at the wrong house. I know nothing about it. And he's like, that's the story you're sticking to? And he's like, what about you, Kanan, or whatever? And Rock says, man, don't worry about him. He has nothing to do with this. He basically tells her to watch her back, and then he tells Kanan to keep his eyes open. I can tell that Malcolm is probably going to be a problem in the future. Then we see Detective Shannon Burke get up out the car, and Malcolm says, what do you got? And she tries to tell him what the casings mean, what happened and stuff like that. I guess she's like a new detective working with Malcolm. So it's going to be interesting to see these two working together. Then we see Kanan talking to Jukebox, and Kanan says, where were you when this was happening? And, she's just looking at him and he says, white girl. And she just laughs and she says, I'm glad they didn't hit you. And he said, me too. Then we see Rock meet up with Unique and she's like, man, look, you need to lay off my son. You came for him last night. And Unique says, man, there's only so much I can do. I'll take your payment or whatever, but a lot of people knew Buck 20. He had family, friends, and everything, and I can only do what I can do and control what I can control. I'll do my best to try to keep people away from Kanan, but look, I can't control everybody. That's pretty much what he was saying. Rock just wants a deal and to make an agreement with Unique so nobody hurts her son, which makes sense, man. She does not want her son in this life But now I think she feels like she has no choice but to teach him things because of what he did. Kanan killing Buck 20 pretty much put him into the life. So we see Rock go into his room when he's sleeping, and she's like, get up, we're going somewhere. And you know, he's tired as hell, but he gets up, he's in the car with her, he's asleep and everything, and she's just driving. So they get out and they're by the water, and she's talking to Kanan, and she's like, look, what happened with that test? And she's like, I want the truth. So Kanan tells her the truth. He says, I'll be good for real if all the answers are in that B column. And she's like, man, for real, you really flunked that test. You know, she wants the best for him. Then she tells Kanan to look up at the stars. And she's like, look, that's Orion the hunter up there. She said, we always need to be the hunter, not the hunted. So she gives him a gun and she says, shoot one off. So he takes it and he shoots one off. And she says, look, that bullet is circling the world now with your name on it. She said, you wanted to be in it, now you in it. She's just trying to give him some advice. She's being a good mother, you know, she's trying to keep him safe. She's teaching him how to shoot. She knows that he flunked that test, and now she has to do whatever she has to do to keep him safe, because she knows he's not going to be going to that new school. He's going to be stuck in Southside Jamaica, Queens. So she has to do what she has to do to keep her son safe. So she's trying to teach him things now. She takes out a gun herself. You know, he still has his gun, and they're both shooting. So now he's in it. And it looks like he's enjoying it when he's shooting that gun too. So this is only the beginning for Kanan Stark. And then we hear 50 Cent say, you know how my story ended. This is the beginning. This is my story, a Southside Jamaica Queen story. And that ended the episode. And in my opinion, this was a solid ass first episode. I mean, it's everything that I expected. I feel like in the trailer for Power Book 3 Raising Kanan, they showed a lot of what happened in the first couple episodes. I hope that the trailer didn't show anything from the second half of the season, because I want everything else to be a surprise. Because I noticed in this first episode, we seen a lot of clips that looked familiar from the official trailer. So I hope the rest is just a complete surprise, because this season already is so damn good, man. I cannot wait for episode 2 and so on, man. I cannot wait every week. I remember what it felt like to wait every week for Power, especially the last season, season 6, when it was Ghost versus Tommy. I remember what it was like every single week, wondering what's going to happen next, wondering if Ghost is going to kill Tommy or Tommy's going to kill Ghost. And now it's the same exact thing. We got to wait every single week to see what's going to happen next, to see what type of stuff is going to pop off next. Because you know some serious shit is going to pop off this season. And I honestly cannot wait for the Ghost and Tommy appearance, the young Ghost and Tommy. I cannot wait for that, man. But I don't think they're going to pop up this first season. But now that we already got a season 2 confirmed, they're probably going to pop up in maybe season 2, if not season 3. I'm ready for that introduction for real, man. I cannot wait. I don't know if it's going to be the same kids that we seen in the little teaser right after Power Season 6 ended or not. I don't know, man. You know, the dude who plays in Shameless, Carl, I don't know if he's still going to be playing young Tommy, but that was the plan. I guess we just got to wait and see. And I cannot wait. I can't wait to see this entire season. I have a feeling every single week some crazy stuff is going to pop off, because in the next episode, you know, the trailer for the next episode, it already looks crazy, bro. I mean, it's the second episode and it already looks insane. So yeah, I'm ready for Power Book 3 Raising Kanan, episode 2. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. I thought it was great, man. 9 out of 10, this first episode. 9 out of 10. Dope ass shit. I cannot wait. I'll probably rewatch it. I only watched it once, but every time a Power episode drops, I always watch it a couple times. So I'm going to do the same thing with this. But comment your thoughts down below. What did you think about Power Book 3 Raising Kanan episode 1? And keep supporting your boy, and I'll be continuing to bring y'all Power Book 3 Raising Kanan content in the future. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. and smash that notification bell so you can never miss a video. If you guys want to donate to the channel, I got links below to the PayPal and Cash App accounts. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me get out of here, y'all. It's your boy FuturisticMike, and I'll talk to you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.